to the CFG Game Cast, episode number 231, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest game topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode every week and release it on all podcast services. So show us some love. Do us a favor, give us a like, follow, comment, or share on our YouTube page, the CFG channel, or go to our main website, freaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, David Screen, and with me, I got my two awesome co-hosts, Alex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
You know, no gaming this week. We had a lot going on. So we had an AC issue, and so we had to get a new one. It was spent $1,000 to fix one hand. Can't fix both, only one. Or less than $5 to just replace a whole unit. So I said, it's going to save me money in the long run. Because $400 for energy every month is not, I don't like that. So my AC unit was working, but it was working harder. And we had rust in the air, apparently. Didn't know that. And little kittens in the house breathing that in. And Opie, nope. So
Rust
we replaced that.
Right.
And then we got the 75-inch TV downstairs. So Adam fell asleep on the couch watching Archer. But he was playing games. We ordered controllers. We're ready for a game night now. I'm excited.
So all you're missing now is a PS5 or you know what, or something, or like a console again, because that was holding you back the first time. Like no more. You don't have a Switch or anything, right? Like
I do have a Switch.
You do have a Switch, so there you go. So see, we got to have a party night at your spot, or so.
You'll have to fly in and come over, and we'll coach.
Yeah, there we go. Couch co-op. We're going to coach
to ride on my couch. You know,
I can just imagine how this is going to be. So we're playing like a game on Zelda, then she's right in my ear. She's like, "You're doing it wrong," or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I mean, the only thing downstairs that we need now is a new couch, and I've been doing research, and the couch of my dreams was like $10,000. But
so why don't you go to the couch of your nightmare, and it'll be a lot cheaper.
That's what we have right now.
Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby. 2 crates and some cardboard boxes, and you're all set.
That's basically what it's like now to sit on our couch. So I'm good.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I will defer the announcement for Smitty to you, Lex.
Thank you. You know who can't say what I have a belt in martial arts?
I don't know who.
His name is the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee.
Hey, what's up, Smitty? I don't know what she's talking about, so you gotta explain on what that is. Like what happened? Context.
Say jujitsu. Oh, now I can't say
jujitsu.
There we go. Now, okay. Now you got it.
Kaizen.
What was that before? Jujitsu. I have a orange belt in jujitsu. Orange
jujitsu.
No, I'm a brown belt in taekwondo.
Okay. Now. Took me a minute, and then I was just like, okay, that makes sense.
Never break into my house. Just warning y'all.
You will get kicked in the face and possibly the chest.
And down my stairs. So
rule of thumb. Bring a weapon. I'm just kidding.
I have weapons, so.
So, but anyways, well, I know we were like where we last left off, Smitty. What were you up to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just talking about I've been playing Star Wars Hunters. What else have we been playing? I don't know. We're just kind of getting back in the swing of things in terms of gaming news and other stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the the Global Gaming League. They had an exhibition match out here at the HyperX Arena. That was a lot of fun. Got some great interviews and stuff like that. Big shout out to Lucas because I forgot my XLR cable at home. So he sent me the audio so I can use it, which was huge. But yeah, it's been girls are back in school, so we're just kind of getting back into the swing of stuff.
Oh, okay, that's good, man. But like,
yeah,
Man, I totally forgot about the how was that event that you said? What was it? The GGL event?
Global Gaming League.
Mm.
It was good. Yeah, and just kind of how they're marrying, celebrities, gaming, music, fashion. It's going to be more of like an entertainment league than like super competitive. And essentially it'll be celebrity owners with 4-person teams that compete. So I'm still trying to see. This is mastermind by Clinton Sparks, who's a DJ producer as well, if you're not familiar. So I'm curious to see what they like have in mind. And I think production wise and the production values there were pretty spot on. So I'm excited to see what they have in store. It'll start sometime next year.
I don't know like what they're trying to do. Like, so what is it like? That sounds more of a content creation kind of side as opposed to being professional gaming. You know what I mean?
I mean, well, that's the things. Like the team members are from like professionals to casual gamers as well. But they're yeah. So there's a range of players on the teams. The celebrities I don't believe are playing. It's their teams and they're supporting the teams that they've built and stuff like that. And then there was probably like 3 or 4 different musical performances throughout the show as well as a fashion show at the beginning, which I won't lie, it felt a little out of place.
Fashion show?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think that there's a better way to incorporate something like that. But it's just gamers that are looking to incorporate a variety of things and being able to entertain folks while marrying all these different verticals that kind of have a bit of an overlap.
It's got like, I don't know, man. It seems, what this reminds me of? It reminds me of that one that show Parks and Recreation when they made that club. What's it called? That club that they made, like with Club 24/7, or I forgot what it was called, but that like where it wasn't just a club, it was like all like 20 other things in one. And then just seeing where it's gonna like, and then they lost. They had to close it down because it was just too expensive to go. It feels like this, like that, because I don't know. It seems. Maybe I don't see the direction. The dude who's running it is way smarter than me, so he has an idea. Hopefully he gets what he wants out of it.
Fashion.
Don't worry,
is weird.
You can watch my story and get a better idea of what it's all about.
That is true. Very true. Very true. Yes, there you go. That was a good plug.
What have you been up
about
to?
You?
Oh, there we go. Man, I've been busy. I've got well, first off, I've been playing the Wukong game, Black
Myth.
Yeah, Black Myth Wukong. Thank you, guy. I had a brain fart. Game's pretty good, I will say. Couple of things. I mean, the first thing was that I didn't get a console key. It was a PC key. So so I don't know if the game plays better on PC. It didn't feel like it did play better since it was prior to the release. I'm assuming there's going to be day one patches for it. But then again, though, too, to play devil's advocate, this is the first IP of a brand new company. So I give them a little bit of slack. Is that emote only?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, let's disable that. Why is it emote only all of a sudden?
Every time you have to stop recording and like refresh, it automatically does it. I don't know why. It's got to be a settings thing. Yeah,
something must be weird with that. Someone can y'all turn that off, or do I have to do that?
Good question.
Let's see. Let me just see what's going on. Emote only. Here we go. No, now it's on. It's off now. It's been off. There you go.
It said emote.
It said emote. Let's see. Because I see where it says emote only. Emote only mode for this room. Then it says CFG Games disabled emote only for this room. Okay, no, we can chat. Yeah, so we're good.
I did see at one point that it said that it was emote only.
Yeah, I see too.
For sure.
It seems like it's happened three times.
Not just now.
Yeah, I see you here 3 times. Yeah, so it seems like it was doing that probably when we went in and out. But anyways, I digress. But the game I thought was going to be more of a Souls-like game. It does have Souls-like features, like if you die, you have or not die, but there's like the bonfire spots. There's spots like that throughout the game, and then if you hit that spot, it's going to respawn the characters that are around in your area. They did have that. However, there was no like loss of souls or anything like that. It was more this actually was more surprisingly more action based than I was anticipating. But they definitely did a great job at the boss fights. It gave me some old school Arkham City vibes because the boss fights in those games were just fun to do. But the game is also tough, so I think it's a pretty good balance. The only downsides I have is that they don't really reward you for exploring throughout the game, but I don't know, we'll see. But I just can't wait to finish up my review for that, which hopefully I should get that done by next week. Definitely check that out if I want to get the chance to. And yeah, but then other than that, I've also been focusing on my working out regiment. Here was the most important thing, because like now I've gotten to a point where I'm starting to go to do 2 mile days in the morning, and then in the before work, mind you. So this is like at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then today I did a 3 mile this morning just to see if I can, and I did. So yeah, it's been going pretty good. It's been going overall pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, so definitely.
But you ain't got no job, Tommy.
Oh, funny you mentioned that. I started a new job at the beginning of the week too. So yeah. Yeah, so
that's awesome. I can't believe you didn't say anything, Daddy.
I know.
I completely forgot about it. I was just because I've been doing training this whole time. I've been so bored. I've been so busy with that, and then just trying to get my thing, and then I'm just like, thank God it's the weekend, and I'm just like, the last thing I want to do is talk about
work.
Let's talk about work or a new job and stuff. I wanted to do this. Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
This is a transitional job, though. This is not something that I'm wanting to stay on.
Yeah, it's something though. It's something.
Yeah, definitely something because it's been a year. So there you go. Yeah. Because like when was the last time I went to Vegas? Was in July last year, right? And that was the day. Yeah. So it's been almost a year. It's been over a year. It's crazy. It's tough out there, but I'm not letting that get to me. But anyways. But I know, guys, I know you don't want to talk about any unemployment issues that I may have personally have gained. Well, actually, me and Smitty, when you think about it, have done. But then again, Smitty's been doing good though. Has been living it up. So there you go. But anyways,
I've been doing good.
Yeah, you were doing fairly good for yourself.
At what?
Just keeping it up. Like
games of life.
Yeah, I mean,
you've been doing good. I'm barely getting by, dude. This guy, man. And I am not doing good.
Oh, jeez. It's like I cry myself to sleep every night. Yes.
I am not there yet.
Oh, Jesus. Can't even take the credit. Gotcha. I'm just kidding.
I will when we're there, but right now ain't it.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. But folks, we'll get down to the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic in the world of video games. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry, and we do not want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners on Twitch, YouTube, and on Kick, to be a part of the conversation. So if there is something that you're wanting to chime in about, by all means, type it down inside the chat. We would love to discuss it with each and every one of you and go from there. So, Smitty, what are you bringing to the table, my friend?
Yo, we had to talk about some good news in gaming. Obviously, there's been a ton of layoffs, closures, and things like that. One of the victims of one of those closures was Tango Gameworks and Microsoft. Well, we just learned that Krafton Inc., the South Korean company that did PUBG, has picked up Tango Gameworks. Obviously, they are the makers of Hi-Fi Rush. They did things like Evil Within, Ghostwire Tokyo, and so many other things. So they're coming off of the award-winning year with Hi-Fi Rush, and them being canned by Microsoft was absolutely devastating. So it's amazing to see them get picked up. They're going to be able to continue because they were already working on a Hi-Fi Rush 2. Again, we talked about this. None of us have actually played the game, but we've watched people play the game and mad love to it for sure. So they're going to be able to continue that story, continue that IP. This means that we get fresh breath back into the Evil Within series, along with what they have in store for Ghostwire Tokyo, if they have plans to move forward with this. I just had to bring this up. And I can't remember, but later in the week, Crafton Inc. also, there was another purchase that they made, and I cannot think of what it is off the top of my head. But I feel like these last couple of weeks, they've been making some moves. Again, this also gets them into the Japanese market, as Tango Gameworks is a Japanese studio. So, and I want to quote here from this article that I'm reading by, I have no idea, BW Online Bureau. I don't know who the author is. But it says, in its official release, Crafton emphasized the strategic significance of this acquisition. Crafton today. Welcome the people of Tango Gameworks. I can see legs at the corner of my eye.
I'm trying to stay out of frame, so you stop laughing.
I know. I'm sorry. Of Tango Gameworks to their team, making an exciting moment in the company's global expansion and its first significant investment in the Japanese video game market. According to the organization, Crafton has acquired the rights to Tango Gameworks' acclaimed IP, Hi-Fi Rush. Tango Gameworks will work with Xbox and ZeniMax to ensure a smooth transition and continuity after the acquisition. Crafton intends to support the Tango Gameworks. I can't say that word today. Gameworks team to continue its commitment to innovation and deliver fresh and exciting experiences for fans. According to the release, existing games including Evil Within 2, and we talked about the rest of this stuff. So this is huge. This investment, huge breath of life back into the team of Tango Gameworks. Again, I don't know if that means that they're pulling or bringing everything over, or what it looks like. And I believe that Microsoft has retained some rights to some things. But I can't remember exactly what those things were. But yeah, I wanted to see what your guys' thoughts were on it and the, second opportunity for Tango Gameworks.
Well, I will say this though. I mean, I'm glad that there was a Hail Mary shot that they got bought out by a different company. Crafton, I'm not really familiar with what they do besides PUBG itself. I know it's overseas, but it's just a little discouraging to say that. I mean, Hi-Fi Rush was a smashing hit, success level. This was exactly the game that Microsoft wanted to make, which was weird. And then because they weren't expecting it to do high numbers. And but good enough numbers where they weren't going to lose money from their investment towards this. And then what did they end up doing? They take it off in the chopping block and then basically go completely reverse on what they were wanting to build for Microsoft themselves as a gaming company. So so when you see the level and the talent, because people were asking for a Hi-Fi Rush 2, we knew that they were probably going to be looking into doing it because how successful this game was. This game that literally came out of nowhere to the masses, and now now they definitely have a spot where they can bring that creativity. Hopefully, I guess the real question I have though is because this kind of is very interesting because the way that they announced this closure months ago, the beginning of summer, I believe. And
yeah, at least.
yeah. So like, do they even still have the cast, the same crew that were there prior to that, to make Tango Gameworks as successful as it was before all of this? So that I don't know. So there's some questions that I kind of have on that makes me wonder if they're going to strike gold twice. But I'm just glad overall. I mean, this is like some news that is so that people were yearning to get for a terrible time for the gaming industry. So no, I'm definitely hyped. I'm definitely glad that that they're not going away anymore, and I just hope that their new owners, Krafton, do them good and not try to do what Microsoft was planning on doing or did essentially. I mean, it was closed. So there you go.
No kidding.
What do you think, Lex?
So Smitty said it. None of us have played, but we all three have a lot of love for this game. It's beautiful. We love it. We wanted it to keep going. Even though it's not necessarily in our wheelhouse, we thought it was a smash hit from our perspective, even though we haven't played it. So to hear that Microsoft just dropped them was so sad. I love to hear that Krafton has picked them up. Smitty, you said that there is a weird IP thing. What is that exactly? The IP?
Weird.
You had said like Microsoft retains the IP?
Yeah, they don't return not any of those.
Oh, okay.
But there was something I read it somewhere or something. That was earlier, and I don't know if things have changed or whatever. But I saw something about them retaining something. I don't know if it was directly associated with game or with Tango Gameworks or what. I just happened to have read it, so I can't confirm or deny.
So hopefully there's not an AP issue there. And
no, I don't think
David said that hit gold twice.
Yeah, I don't think that it was an AP. I mean, they basically Microsoft gave them the rights to the game. They don't own. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if it was coming. The IP issue would be if Microsoft decided to say we're going to shut the studio down, but we're going to keep the game under the Microsoft umbrella.
Right.
I don't think they did that for this case because I don't think they cared. I mean, it's just, the way they just threw them away. The way they threw them away just seems like I just don't think that they had high hopes for them to be successful, in which they did become successful.
Crazy.
Yeah, and but they decided to pivot, and they just basically wanted to wipe their hands off of it. Which I'm kind of glad, I guess,
Yeah, like at least give them a second shot to do something elsewhere. But it's just, to me, it's so weird. Like, the game didn't just exceed expectations. It's like if you're at work and your boss gives you a project and you do that project plus 5 others and they're all great. But then instead of a raise, you get fired. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it felt like. So I'm just happy for them in totality. And I think the other thing that Krafton did was they fully merged with PUBG. So maybe that's what you were thinking of. Because I couldn't find another acquisition. Yeah, they merged with PUBG.
Maybe that's what it was.
I thought
I saw something about them investing in something and being like a heavy investor in. Mm-hmm. Is that what it was?
I think it was PUBG.
Krafton made a horror game though, but I'm trying to remember the name of the game. That's what it's
Evil
like.
Within?
No, it wasn't Evil Within.
Oh no, that's never mind.
No, I don't know. I'm sure it's bugging me because I'm sure I was like, yeah, I've heard of Krafton before, but what was it that they made? And it drives so hopefully it will come off at the top of my tongue, but anyways, I love the news. I definitely like if they're planning on making more of what they did originally. I mean, this is definitely on my alley. I just haven't had time or the money to play it. And secondly, I don't have the system because I didn't want to get it on PC. I wanted to chill in my living room as well. But
Callisto Protocol.
Callisto Protocol. Thank you.
Oh,
broke my
they
head.
did Callisto Protocol?
Yeah, that was them.
No
yeah,
kidding.
that's what I knew it was them. I wasn't really sure. Because that was like, I was like, yeah, they made a game that was like Dead Space. And, but anyways, I digress. But I just think that if the game's quality, if this is what they showed is one of the first games in their beginning of their library of possible future games, I think we have nothing to worry about. I think Crafton made a great move, and I think it's even better. I think it's even better on the fact that that Crafton isn't owned by a first party studio.
No,
they're doing their own thing, you know.
Korean
Now,
guys.
yeah, that's true. And now, to play devil's advocate, we don't know. Like, we don't want it to make it become like a what's it called? What's THQ Nordic? Like the like an indie studio where they just like crunch hours. They give you unrealistic time frames and stuff. There's also a possibility that that they run short on the money because Big Papa Bear, Microsoft isn't backing up the studio the way they were before, so they might do some cost.
That's what it is. So I think Bethesda still owns the Evil Within.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I see. So you mean like publishing? So publishing rights.
Yeah, it's something wonky
gotcha.
there. Yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense. Makes me much less worried. Got it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't think it'll have any kind of effect per se on Hi-Fi Rush, but there's still some sort of connection there between the two.
Yeah. But no, I mean, yeah, I'm hyped, dude. I'm definitely hyped.
It's a Cinderella story, man.
It really is, especially in a year.
Got that flipper.
Yeah. Well, and we had Bungie doing, laying off a bunch of people as well again, I'm
worried. I'm worried about Bungie, man. I don't know.
They're gonna get gobbled up by Sony. Bungie hasn't been Bungie for some time now. Let's just say that.
I just think that, like, oh my God, it's so sad thing about what Bungie's experiencing is, and it's just to say like how, like, don't get me wrong, like Bungie must have had like expensive taste from the start, especially for a company that was with Microsoft. That initially they did a game-changing game with Halo in its early years. Then they decided to make their own different IP with Destiny. I mean, they were probably accustomed to a life where they had a good giant sized budget and not expecting any repercussions. And then because of things like the pandemic, the loss, the mismanagement of that money and stuff is finally coming back to them. The fact that they were in a situation where they were going to be they could file for insolvency is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
To me. So like, yeah, I mean, it's just a nightmare after nightmare. Now they're in this position where Marathon cannot fail, regardless of what it is. It cannot fail. If it does, then that's it. There's I don't see how they're going to be any kind of coming back from that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I can see that.
Very true.
Yeah. So it's so we'll
scary times over there. Yeah, dude, they dismantled that company.
Scary time.
Sony stepped in. Mm-hmm. We knew it was going to happen. Yeah.
But it's like, did we know it was going to? Well, I know that the CEO of Bungie, no one really likes, especially
Steve Parsons.
Yeah, Steve Parsons. No one likes him. And they've been wanting him to resign for forever. And then he's still going to be fine because he gets a CEO, a benefits package and all that stuff. But like, it's just that, wow, dude, like y'all mismanaged it this bad. Like even the Final Shape, which we did a spoiler cast. Well, Smitty did a spoiler cast and a review on our website, conferencegeeks.com. Like how good that game, that expansion was. It still sold less than the previous one. That's just
crazy.
Isn't it crazy? I know, right? This is
insane. But this is another situation too, where like rave reviews, what's your reward? Layoffs. But no, they actually knew this was going to happen since last year, since that first round of layoffs.
The numbers
they already knew about this.
The numbers were unrealistic. That's what I think. Like, cause like what they were saying that for them to prevent a second row line of layoffs was like there was to say when you look at the trajectory of how the other expansions were selling. They knew that they were not going to sell to whatever their expectation was going to be. So they knew that they were going to get to at least to this point. So I don't know, man. But anyway, Bungie's a mess, hopefully. But like, I'm glad that we had some sense of good news with Tango Gameworks. I think they need to they have a good opportunity, a good chance to make something new or something big out of this small indie studio. And now they truly are indie, which I think is better in my opinion. So we'll see it on the other consoles instead of being stuck on PC/Xbox. So there you go. Mm-hmm. All right, well, good one, Smitty. Lex, why don't you bring it to the table?
My turn. I wrote a whole novel. Okay, so.
No novels.
Okay. Then never mind. So, some weird rumors happened this week. If you guys didn't know, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is coming. We've heard things. They said, the last quarter of 2024. We just didn't get a release date. So, before we jump into that, Titanfall 2 was released alongside of Battlefield 1 and Gears of War, which essentially just buried the game and caused it to die, even though it's known as one of the best first-person shooter campaigns, right? So to help these games stand out better, Xbox Game Pass exclusives, they try to stagger the releases. So coming up here in August, we have a lot of things coming out. And Xbox this week said, you know what? We know that Avowed was supposed to come out in 2024, but we're moving it to February 18th of 2025. We've all agreed that waiting is not an issue for us. We're fine with that if we're into the game. But realistically, you can't release a game and expect everyone to play it when there's 15 other games coming out and they're also playing those games, right? So to better the odds for the game itself, they're moving it. But because of that, everyone started speculating that Indiana Jones was also going to get moved. But in a strange twist of fate, I don't think it is. So it's an action-adventure game made by the developer Machine Games, who created Wolfenstein series, and it's directed by Todd Howard. You play as Indy, voiced not by Harrison Ford, but renowned voice actor Troy Baker.
Oh,
he does sound like Harrison Ford, though.
I thought it was Ford Harrison.
I do that all the time. Wait, did I say his name wrong? No, it is Harrison Ford. Don't get me. So you can choose to be stealthy or go into full combat. The choice is yours. And it's not an open world game. Yes.
It is open world or it is not?
Not.
Oh, okay. Good.
Thank God. Too many open world games, they end up sucking. Stop it. The time frame sets you between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. So 1937. It's going to be action-packed and hopefully a nice handful of really awesome puzzles to uncover a mystery to die for. So because, again, Avowed was switched from August of 2024 to February 18th, 2025, the release date had yet to be announced for Indiana Jones. And we've seen promos, but nothing hinting, right? But we found out, I believe, yesterday or today, that the release date is to be announced the opening night live at Gamescom, August 20th. So you only have, 3 days? And they're going to give us a new look at the game and the release date. So I'm very excited. I love Indiana Jones. I read the books. I love the movies. I love Harrison Ford. I was curious what you guys thought. And it's a first-person shooter. This is a game I'm going to be playing offline.
Is this first person or third person? Is it a mix between first and third?
It's primarily first, but there are times we'll go into third. My only issue with the game is how are you going to have an iconic character, but you can't see their face throughout most of the gameplay? I'm like, meh, that's kind of lame.
Because you're Indiana Jones.
You are
yes, and I need to see that I'm Indiana Jones.
Well, stand in the mirror.
You'll need a mirror to say, hey, yeah, it's like I'm looking good and I'm Indiana Jones.
You do see his face a lot.
I feel like, okay, so, but
cutscenes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that they're doing and I like a thing about open world too, for me, like, have to say is like, you know, like folks just need to stop with the thinking we're just gonna make this give you the full surroundings, like you have access to everywhere and things like that. You know what?
Yeah, we don't need all that.
Yeah, less is more is the way I look at it. Like, and I feel that if you diminish that world, that giant world of exploration and stuff like that, and you focus on what you're wanting to improve, like in this game is up my alley because it's story based and it's telling it's telling a specific story for a character itself that everyone like loves. I mean, he's been around for over 40 years now. So
he's
like
my James Bond.
Yeah. So like, so definitely I'm going to give it justice. I mean, this isn't the first time they made a Indiana Jones game, because I believe they made another one earlier in the Xbox 360. I want to say 360. If I'm wrong.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but this one looks like they're actually putting a lot of time and money on it. And did you say this is the same studio that did Wolfenstein?
Yep, the whole.
Are you kidding me? So if you do a Wolfenstein, the team that did Wolfenstein, that did stories of Wolfenstein in Indiana Jones IP, yeah, count me in. I mean, that's definitely that's definitely great. Great. It's like great all around, and the fact that they are also pre-announcing that they're actually going to give it a release date. I mean, it better come out the end of this year. I mean, because the reason why all this stuff is happening, like you were saying earlier, like how Enshrouded and all these other games and stuff like that got pushed back, is because they're wanting to have time for Indiana Jones to kind of, to thrive and stuff. So
this is going to be their blockbuster game.
Yeah, it really is. Besides their Call of Duty. That's like
whatever.
Oh, it's a new Madden.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So it's just like, I'm hyped for the game. I'm definitely really looking forward to seeing how this is going to go. If it comes out the end of this year, looking forward to playing it and seeing it. And so you said they're going to announce at Gamescom, so definitely keep an eye out. We'll keep an eye out next week for
3 days.
Yeah.
What do you think, Smitty?
Oh, see your face just then.
Yeah, the Wolfenstein guys making an Indiana Jones game is hilarious. I know it is kind of funny though, but still. Hey, to be fair, it's not that far-fetched of an idea. I mean, dude, there's Nazis in Wolfenstein. There's Nazis inside Indiana Jones.
Nazis really hate World War II Germans.
Yeah. It's like,
oh man,
it's like they made a studio to go out of their way to remind people how much they hate Germans. That's what that is. So there you go. Yes. So what do you
I'm
think,
pumped for
Smitty?
this, dude. It's gonna be day one on Game Pass. You know I love a good story. You're gonna hate me because I don't know that I've actually seen all the Indiana Jones.
Shut the fuck up.
I think I've seen the earlier ones.
To be fair,
I have not seen any of like the newer ones.
You are better off not seeing the newer ones.
Shut up.
You are better off not seeing the newer ones.
Don't listen.
Watch the Crystal. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Watch Crystal Skull and then say I'm wrong, Smitty. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
Have you read the books?
Yes.
There's only 12. No, Smitty.
Wait, there's books? No,
Yeah,
I didn't even know there were books.
Ungentlemanly Warfare.
I know I have an appreciation for Indiana Jones, but I was not a super Indiana Jones dude. But I love the story. I love exploration and stuff that he does. I love that genre, so I know I would enjoy this. And being able to play young handsome Harrison Ford there, like, come on now. Absolutely.
Oh man.
Absolutely. I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great. Mr. Seven Figure says inside the Twitch chat, just like you can. He says that he feels like that a default response since when did Xbox get exclusives? It's not on PC. It's a fair point. They've been working on. Well, I mean, Well, no. He's saying like the exclusive, like an exclusive that's not on PC itself specifically. Yeah. But like, well, when they bought Bethesda, that's what Bethesda was working on. So there you go. So by default, they made it exclusive. Yeah, and who's to say it's not how Microsoft is going? They may make it a timed exclusive. So
that's true.
Yeah, so it's very big possibility that means nothing for them. But they need but they definitely need a game that would kind of push them into wanting to, like, for people to be glad that they are spending money for Xbox Game Pass and stuff like that. But but I mean something than nothing.
Ultimate tier, by the way, mind you.
Oh, that's right. They changed that
tier.
How much is Ultimate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
$16.99, I believe.
Day one to be able to play day one games, you have to have an Ultimate tier for Game Pass. Now
they changed that.
Yeah, essentially. But then again, what's classified as day one? Like, are we like, how long does it take when they get off of that list? Is it just like a week, a month, or whatever? Okay, yeah, you can look into that. Yeah. Another thing I will say though too, like the fact that, I mean, like I said, even though it's Wolfenstein, it has its Wolfenstein aspects of it. The fact that they're doing its first person is also showing it's different enough, because this isn't like this is not reinventing the wheel in this sense. I mean, there's so many other games that kind of push for this kind of style, like Tomb Raider, Uncharted, and stuff like that. So I'm glad that they have a different point of view of making it an FPS than making it a third person. So that's why I really kind of didn't mind. I didn't mind it as much.
I didn't even think about that. A lot of the action adventure games are third person like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
So that's why. Well, I mean, to be fair though, you're used to that and you're accustomed to it. That's why you wanted. That's why you were like, we need to do that kind of deal, So, but no, I am definitely hyped to checking this out and stuff. I guess I'm worried. The only thing I'm worried about is that how do they consider a game as successful when it comes to Game Pass, when it comes to Game Pass, because that's the weird thing to me. Like, the reason that's the, like, if someone could please explain that to me, like how they can like if they did, it's a AAA game, it's going to have a lot of people playing it and stuff, but like, what is their big gain from like releasing it on Game Pass, specifically that game, not Game Pass as a whole? Because that's what drives me insane. Like, why that, like
it's gotta be based off of like new or returning subscriptions. I'd imagine that would be somewhere within that metric.
That's why
I mean.
Yeah. I mean, because
otherwise, how do you tangibly say that it's successful when you're just giving it to people on this platform that whether they're paying for it or not?
Yeah. And it's not like you could say, okay, this game, 14 million people downloaded this, while 2 million downloaded, I don't know, like an Among Us or whatever, on the Game Pass or on Game Pass, and yet it's not like they're going to allocate money for one and then give less to the other. I mean, it's just I would love to know how that works, because like that's the thing that's going to throw me off, especially the Call of Duty. How is Call of Duty not going to lose money on the fact that they're not going to do the same DLC kind of content that they've been known to do forever, for over 13 years, Like,
wait, what do you mean?
Well, the map packs and stuff that you had to get in the year and the season and stuff like that. The season pass that you had to get with the DLC and stuff. This is a day one game if you get it with Ultimate Game Pass. So then, and there's nothing that you're needing. I don't know if that's going to still be separate, or if that's also going to be included with with Game Pass itself. Because if it's included,
it better include that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's included, then like that's a lot of money that they're losing overall, in my opinion. So I mean, but like, I don't know. I just don't know.
I don't know how that works. Dude. Yeah,
because like that's why I'm always wondering like why it took them so long to do a price increase and for this, because I don't see how they're making money. I don't see how they're making money for any AAA titles that they release in Game Pass.
So, question: how much does a AAA game that we would consider a success make in a fiscal year? Do we know like the range?
I think
Like
the best
general
way.
range?
Okay, well, I don't think it's be fair to say with an average, because the problem
Okay.
is Nintendo, because Nintendo's the outlier. Because
Right.
Nintendo, for some reason, like just sells a lot of games, a lot of like
Let's
their
exclude
AAA
that
titles.
from this.
Yeah, because
Quite
their AAA titles are cheaper to make, and yet they get a lot back from them. So like, yeah. But if you want to be generous, I would say maybe, let's say 10, 15 million copies.
Okay, so
Yeah.
hold that thought. In January of 2021, Game Pass generated $2.9 billion in revenue, which was about 30% of Microsoft's games and services revenue. 30%.
That's a big chunk.
Yeah.
That was
but-
in 2021 when it was $9.99. You got day one if you're Game Pass, right? So that's a lot.
okay, but here's the thing though.
Right.
That's not separating your third party partners. You're not
Right.
That's not separating your distributor outlets. That's not including. I mean, if you look at it as a whole chunk, yes, it's incredibly a lot, but we still don't know how much of that is going to go to Microsoft directly. Is what what
Right.
I'm wondering about. So like, yeah, you're right. It's like it's a very impressive number, but like, is it? I guess it's worth it if they're still doing what they're doing it and stuff. Yeah, well, cloud services in general is expensive, but yeah.
In the chat,
still.
if you're listening, Mr. Seven Figures is kind of going through the thought process of like, well, how much does Microsoft goes to Xbox and how much is left for the devs? I would assume, I could be absolutely wrong, for like an indie dev, or let's say for Indiana Jones, right? It's day one. Xbox would have to pay them a chunk for the game to be Xbox exclusive, and then
They don't need to
they
pay them
would
anything. It's
somehow
their
get-
studio.
It's their
look at it,
studio.
right? Oh well, then I shut the fuck up. Then
Yeah, like how do they
people
make
still have to be
money?
paid, though.
They're giving away
Oh, yeah.
their
They
still have
product.
to
That's
move money
not giving
around.
it away, but
Oh yeah,
Right.
well, they got their budget. Yeah, their budget will like, okay, like a game like this, I would say easy 300 million.
right,
Like, to make,
and then they will
uh,
probably have a clause for revenue throughout after the game.
Oh
is
no,
released.
no, they don't. They never do
Oh, really?
clauses
You don't
for
think
that.
so?
Yeah, no, they definitely don't do a clause for that.
Well, I guess you're right, because it's not
Yeah.
like movies. They're not going to get like
Yeah, they
Stifle.
don't. Yeah, once you make the game, it's like it all goes to the studio regardless. They don't do that. They don't do that.
how
stuff.
much do you think they paid
Right.
Harrison Ford? They would have had to have paid him to use his likeness.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
they must have got. Well, they must have. Well, like I said, like
Unless
they probably
he's
had.
got some sort of AI deal or some shit.
through
Well,
his
they-
contract.
They probably had a budget. Like I said, they have the. I mean, that's all incorporated in the budget. That's why, hence, $300 million. You know, but like, but I just think that like even in that chunk, that's one game spending like that much money of it because it's an army to make a game like this. It's not, especially when you're using Bethesda Studios to do it, like especially an arm of Bethesda to do it. Oh God, I don't even know, but yeah, I just found it very fascinating, and because like they never share their numbers, and that's why I've always kind of wondered if it like is Game Pass as successful as they want it to be. Well, you know, he wouldn't do that in real life. Jump on a plane like that. Look at that guy. But anyway,
that one.
no, I was just watching yeah, you're right. I really don't know. So we'll go with it.
I'm a
Yeah.
chibi.
You chibi legs.
Chibi? Or is it chibi?
Tomato.
Gift
Let's see. I see how they are spending money making games, but how the return gets split is confusing. Yeah, it would be incredibly confusing because how many? I mean, I'm not familiar with Game Pass, so because Smitty, how many games are in Game Pass? Like, is there hundreds of games?
A lot.
There's a lot.
Right now?
I couldn't tell you like an exact number. Yeah.
But then it
Well,
would
I
also
mean-
be from PC to just Xbox games.
Well,
that aren't
no.
on PC, you know?
I wouldn't necessarily isolate it to that. I'm just talking about just in general, PC, console, whatever. You know, like I mean, the fact that there's multiple games that are within that deal is incorporated to that $2 billion, and then everyone's going to get that piece of that pie. Is what I'm saying. So like, I guess, huh? What did you say? I'm sorry.
More than 100 games.
Oh, more than 100 games. Yeah, okay. So like, I mean, I'm just yeah. Anyways, I would love if someone could explain that to me. Now, I'm pretty sure that Ford signed his likeness to the studio that owns the rights to Indiana Jones IP. So Ford makes $0 on this, but the studios that own the Jones character probably charge the game studio a pretty penny. Yeah, with Disney. Yeah, but that's how it works. I mean, that's how it definitely works. Did they say that? Yeah, and we don't know if they said, "Hey, Harrison Ford, we want to mocap your face" or anything like that. If they did, that would be a different story.
It's probably already been because of the last indie.
Yeah,
that
so
was
who knows?
recently.
Yeah, but
and
anyways,
all they have to do is de-age him.
Very interesting. Well, we'll see. Let's find out when this release date's going to come, and definitely be hyped to fangirl about it from there and see how that's going to go. So no, but good one, Lex.
David's fangirl.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even a big Indiana Jones fan. Like, I mean, I like Indiana Jones.
I'm surprised to hear that, and then surprised to see that you're wanting to play the game for sure. You know?
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
No, well, it's a story-driven game. I like stories. I like story-driven games. So,
I dropped all my mints.
Ooh, you just like, this is an example. It's like you show pay attention to me. That's what like comes in.
Sorry.
Man, owner of the room. No, yeah, you know, like as I was like, what she did? It looked like she had tried to attack you.
No, she grabbed something. Something.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what the heck? It's like it's 6 o'clock. Yeah. Where's my dinner? That's the kind of thing.
No, I don't do dinner tonight.
Oh, see, there you go. Very good. Very good. All right. Well, I will wrap it. Oh, what's up?
Mr. Seven Figures. He said, everyone plays Halo on Game Pass. I'm sure day one games still getting paid. The split can't be fair. It's got to be internal politics. Oh, yeah, for sure. And then depending on if Microsoft owns the studio or not, there's a lot of politics. So,
yeah, I mean, we all know that Microsoft's going to get the bigger cut because they have the most to lose. I mean, and most of the stuff is being housed on their Azure cloud services and stuff like that. So right. I mean, the regular day-to-day, the overall cut is going to be big, but I guess the real question is how big is that cut? Is that said cut? And if that cut is worth the troubles to say, hey, we even though we don't have a lot of first-party support, we're doing this to get by, you know, and I don't know if that's, I mean, I feel like you could only skirt by that for so long until you'll be like, you know what, we need to actually show some level of innovation or care to what we have out there. It's like, but instead what we've been seeing more and more of was not new games besides that one good press conference that they had a couple of months ago. Well, we're seeing different ways that you can hook up to your Game Pass. We like Game Pass on Fire Stick, the app on Samsung, the different kinds of things. It's like, but yet at the same time, they're saying we're still going to have a console system for people for people who are interested in wanting to have the system of it. But at the same time, I feel like y'all are antiquating yourselves and stabbing yourself in the back, saying we don't really care about the system. We just want you to have access to Game Pass with PC and all this other stuff. So pick a lane is what I'm saying. I don't know what the hell they're wanting to do or how the hell they're going to do it, but yeah,
Davis, they're going to hire you.
Oh no, I don't want to work with that. It sounds like a headache.
You know who might have insight on how it gets broken down would be Snake Eyes. So maybe I'll.
Why does Snake Eyes work for Microsoft?
No, he does like finance figures stuff. So he might know.
Oh yeah, it might. Go to his like freaking like Batcave computer that he has out there just to use it. My goodness. All right. Okay. So it's my topic, the final topic of the show. So like, I just wanted to say, I know we've talked about this and it's crazy to think, Smitty, but we've been talking about this for 3 years now overall of this whole situation.
I've been here for 4.
Yeah. Well, then 4 years then.
Me.
So yeah. So, well, I don't think you were here when we started this thing, the initial thing, because originally, remember the shots fired of Epic saying was trying to sue Apple because they were feeling like they were being cheated out of the Apple store. So they decided to go amongst themselves to just go and put the currency their own store and stuff. And then because of that, they've been banned on the Apple iOS for over 4 years. Oh, I guess you're right, 4 years. So for over 4 years now. So now Smitty, I think as most recently, I think Smitty about a month ago, like was talking that EU was in talks of trying to was in talks with Apple and Epic Games to be able to bring Fortnite back onto the iOS. And sure enough, it happened officially this week. Yesterday, actually, is officially happened that yesterday Apple now has brought back Fortnite, so you can play your Fortnite on Apple phones unless you're only in the EU at this time. We know it's but there's a giant caveat that they're doing towards this. The caveat is that they're allowing you to have other different kind of money apps to pursue. In it, you don't have to go through Apple Store anymore to do it. So like there's Epic Games Stores is also adding, I think in the next month or so, being able to have their Epic Game Store to be an app in the iOS as well and in Android as well. So they're to get into it, but then you have third party companies to do it. Now there is a fee if you don't go through Apple, the Apple iOS, the Apple thing, which is no surprise at all. At all. So there's to a certain amount of units that get sold within the store itself is I think it's the first million copies. If it's successful enough to get over 1 million, it's going to be 50 cents per download that happens from the store. So it's going to try to discourage people to not go to a different provider for said thing, which is, I guess, is like, it's like take one step forward and then one step back. You're back to where it is. So I guess the real question is, was it worth the fight at that point? Like, if you're going, like, they were kicked out of Apple for 4 years because of this, and then now you're telling me it feels that yeah, you're right. You may get a better deal. Your opportunity to be successful without going through the Apple Store is there, but how successful are you? What would you have to do to consider yourself to be super successful at that point? Because like I just think like, man, y'all were going through lawyers and stuff like that. Apple probably had the time of their lives to prolong this trial for as long as it took. It took until they finally decided this is not something y'all need competition, and you're going to have to do it this way. Anyways, I digress. I'm just saying, I'm glad that it's back. It came back at the perfect time because this new Fortnite expansion looks freaking awesome with the new Marvel characters that they're adding to it. So I just want to get y'all's thoughts. What do y'all think?
I think this was a necessity, to be honest, in overall regulation between digital marketplaces. I think it was inevitable. I think what was in place was archaic, what they were doing. So I think this was just a necessary fight, even though they still are trying to implement, ways to basically discourage people from doing that. They have to at least allow it. And I think that's more important than anything, because I think Google is also in the same boat. It's either Google or
it was Google. They got busted for antitrust laws.
Yeah. So there's going to be an overall trickle down effect. And I think that's the first steps in normalizing that kind of business practice and behavior on a digital level. So,
well, I don't know if if it was a fair and just world, I could see that there was going to be repercussions to it, but it really depends on how hard the government is going to push on it. We know that they're guilty. Right. We know that, but we don't know what the repercussions are going to be. Like, does that mean, because the next step, if you fault on like antitrust laws, if they find you liable for that, they can break your company down to smaller companies. That is what they're essentially doing. Will they do it with Google? I don't know, but we'll see. That's what I'm kind of wondering what they're gonna do. But I'm sorry, sorry to cut you off. What were you saying?
No, you're good. I mean, again, that's to me where these are those necessary battles that need to happen as the internet and the digital world kind of matures and more people are, there's more information out there. There's AI stuff and whatnot. So, it's nice to have it as the wild, wild west, but some things need to be regulated. We see that within the crypto space and how many scammers and stuff like that there has been because there's a lack of regulation. Again, I think there's a fine line between properly regulating something and then overstepping and getting too involved. So we also have to watch out for that stuff. But for these things to be able to run the way that they run just isn't conducive to what the world is now. Mm. So to me, it's just one of those necessary battles that need to happen. How it shakes out, we don't even know. Again, over here in the States, that is not a thing for us. But hopefully that stuff then starts trickling down and we will see those regulations come out at some point in time over here.
No, I totally agree. What do you think, Lex?
So I was just trying to Google if Apple is paying Epic's legal fees for this whole lawsuit, because normally when you win, the other person has to pay your attorney fees, but it looks like Apple was trying to get Epic to pay their attorney's fees since they broke the contract originally and are demanding $73.4 million, and that's with a 10% discount. Like, okay, calm down there. I think Smitty's right. I think this does set a precedent in the United States because in the future, it's going to help indie developers, right? Like, so we already have this court case. It won. It was antitrust laws through Apple and Microsoft, so bigger companies. So I feel like in the long run, that only helps. My thought was hopefully this goes to a higher level like the Supreme Court in the future because of what Microsoft's being sued by the United States. So Epic is a part of that now. And that's going to be huge in and of itself. But if it goes to like the Supreme Court level, then it's a set, you know what I mean? Like it's a set precedent. People can't do X, Y, and Z anymore. Blah, blah, blah. The little guy can't take from the little guy. And for once, the trickle down will work in this because...
Really think so? I don't know if it work. I mean... I have no faith with what to expect on like what it is on... If it does get... I mean, because that's what's going to end up becoming. I mean, it's definitely... it's definitely going to be going in... It's going to be defended in courts. Higher level courts. Well... I think we're doing apples and oranges a little bit right now because that is technically this is European as opposed to American. If it was an American situation, I think that I think it would definitely go along in the court sides. Now to say to 100% certainty how the courts would rule, I don't know. I would not even. I wouldn't. I don't think it's. I don't think it's a lock in. You know, so for something like this, it really depends on. You know, the kind of person that these judges are, which it's questionable to say the least. You know?
I get it. But Epic won. Good for them. I'm excited because either way, it shows that you can't bully these companies and expect them not to come out swinging, right? Whether it's Epic or a smaller company, like. They're saying no more. And we're going to do this so that the little guys later down the line don't have to. And this isn't like Reagan's trickle down economics, which does not work. You know, this is different. So I'm hoping it does set a precedent. I know that right now gaming laws are left, right, and center in the court system because we don't have anything really. So, you know, maybe this gets rolling, but I'm excited. They don't
even have to go to the courts. If Congress were to propose something and then we get that passed, then they would just have to follow suit. The real thing is that number one, the corruption within the American system, within companies and stuff like that, are they going to have the balls to do that, or are they, getting paid off essentially by lobbyists and stuff like that? We'll see. That's the biggest thing that makes me nervous, is that if our people would even have the courage to make a move like this.
Yeah.
I
would hope. It depends. We'll find out in November.
Seven Figure says, I remember when Epic was the evil, but now they lived in to become a hero. I wouldn't even call it that. I really wouldn't. I would never call it that, because technically, like, the whole fight with this was just terrible, because it was basically two rich kids saying, I'm going to take my ball back and go home. That's essentially what it was. Yeah.
I kicked it over the fence. My mom says I can have him back. Give it back.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like no one had sympathy. But what made it worse is that because Epic, wanted to be willing to spend the money, because you remember the first commercial that they had that they were making fun of the Apple campaign?
The Apple campaign.
Yeah, from the 80s. Yeah,
that
so there was
epic. I was here for that. We watched it.
Yeah. It's just, I'm just saying that like throughout this whole process, this was like a fight that I don't know. I mean, it's a fight that needs to be said. It needs to be done. But I think if it was with a more genuine kind of group or company, because then maybe it would be a little bit better. But I understand what they were fighting for. But the fact of the matter is, the end of the day, they still got screwed. In my opinion, because like these hidden fees that they're doing to discourage competition for other other platformers,
and there will be some. I'm pretty sure that they've been over in the EU. They are being charged with this stuff. So they're trying to impose these crazy things, but I don't think this is the final version of what the things look like. They're going to try their shenanigans. They're keeping up with their shenanigans, and that will get broken down. Essentially, they're challenging the law that was passed. And so it really is a matter of seeing how things play out over there.
Yeah. Another thing, I'm just thinking about it though, too, like when they sued, like this is really unforeseen territories, because they're suing the studio that the only studio at the time that had the App Store, and now they're saying it's not fair to have direct competition of that. So now what are you going to try to do? You can't. It's not like you can break down an App Store to other companies and stuff. So I am kind of interested to see where they're going to go with this. So who knows?
For sure.
But, yeah, interesting. Oh man, folks. Thank you for listening to episode number 281 or 231 of the CFG Game Cast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation as always. We will be back again next week with a whole new set of different kinds of topics and discussions. So if you did miss out on this episode, that is perfectly all right. We release it on the beginning of each and every week. So there is absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices.
Ooh.
Guys, be sure to check out our website, conferencegeeks.com. Also, throughout in the middle of the week, I'm pretty sure we're going to be playing some special Marvel Rivals for some new announcements that's coming in. So definitely check us out on our Twitch page, like you are probably seeing and watching us right now on twitch.tv/CFG Games, and on our YouTube, the CFG. So once again, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty signing out. Y'all, take it easy.